telling us it's really good. Bidenomics, it's really good. And yet, if you buy gasoline, if you buy a dozen eggs, if you buy wood for your wood stove, it's all a lot more expensive than it was the day Joe Biden was elected. Is the economy good? And if not, what can be done? What are the steps that a Kennedy administration would take to provide people opportunity again?
Yeah, when I spend a lot of time sitting at people's kitchen tables with them, and because one, as an attorney, I'm representing 1,000 families in Columbiana County in East Palestine, Ohio, whose lives were upended by the Norfolk Southern spill. For 40 years, I've been sitting with people, regular Americans who have been injured by this corrupt merger of state and corporate power. And I've spent the last 8 months touring the country talking to people. And when you say to people that President Biden or President Trump are saying that the economy is flourishing now, they feel like they're being gaslighted. Americans are making choices that they've never had to make before. There's elderly people who are cutting up pills, their prescriptions to make them last the week so they can buy food, heating oil. There's, the mothers all over the country who are downgrading ingredients to make it through the checkout line at the grocery store. I ran into a couple who told me that they were holding their baby who was crying in an apartment they could no longer afford and arguing with each other about whether the baby was $50 sick or $100 or $1,500 sick before they bring them to a hospital. And these are things that are not supposed to be happening in our country. Housing is now unaffordable for this next generation of kids. And a lot of these are long-term things that you can't fix overnight, like inflation, which, we're laying $33 trillion debt on our children. We can't afford to spend $200 billion to Ukraine. We can't afford it. We're like the alcoholic who's behind on his mortgage and is using the milk money to buy rounds in the bar for everybody. We have to get real. The entire budget of EPA is $12 billion. How do we have $200 billion? That's all we got for the environment of this country, for our Purple Mountains majesties, for our rivers, our streams, our public health. Flint, Michigan is being poisoned by bad water. We're poisoning the people. And yet, where do we think we're just printing money? And that is the long-term fix. There's a lot of things we need to do in the short term. We need to get this generation of kids into houses. None of them can afford a house, and that is going to be a catastrophe for our economy and for our democracy. And I'm going to do that.
When you talk about that you had to have a VP candidate to get on in some of these states, right? So that's part of the reason I know you made this decision when you did. The person you